As you just saw in that remarkable footage, most of the injuries occurred to the people who stayed in their cars. This is the most dangerous place to be in a tornado. A tornado can roll a car like a tumbleweed. You need to get out of your car and head to some type of sturdy structure, if possible under an overpass. If you do not have that option, get low into a ditch or behind something solid. Worst case, if you can't find anything sturdy, set low to the ground and cover your head with your arms. The goal is to protect yourself from flying debris, so protect yourself with your arms. Now, let's take a look at some remarkable footage taken by a news crew heading down the highway as a tornado is headed straight towards them.
Keep going, man, keep going.
A Wichita, Kansas TV news crew was out doing a news story one day.
Lots faster, lots faster.
The crew was on a Kansas turnpike when they spotted this tornado out the window.
Lots faster, Greg, it's catching us. You gotta go, buddy.
At first, they tried to outrun it, but realized it was gaining on them. So they parked next to a highway overpass, and along with some other motorists, sought shelter there. As it turned out, just in time.
Get up under the girders. Is that where we want to go? Yes. Underneath the girders. Keep going, Ted. It's coming at us. Hang on, you'll be fine. Hang on to the girders. Don't worry about it. Hang on, Terry. Now, what are you doing? It sounded like a freight train. It just passed right on top of us. People very upset. People underneath the girders of this overpass. They're still hanging on for their lives. It was a tremendous rush. Flying debris everywhere. Some people look like they're all right, but they have scratches and bruises. Here comes another one.
Never try to outrun a tornado. The average tornado travels about 35 miles per hour, but can achieve speeds of over 65 miles per hour, or they can hover, not touching down at all. The point is that you wouldn't know or cannot predict with certainty which way it will go, and you simply cannot assume you can outrun it. Now, let's take a closer look at the footage from under the bridge. This dark spot looks like just debris, but actually it's a minivan. The tornado has pulled it off the highway and is tumbling and tossing it around. The driver was critically hurt but survived the ordeal.
The hell of a one is fixing to come down. It looks like over there, don't it?
This is home video of a storm system that spawned a tornado that struck the town of Wiley, a suburb of Dallas, Texas, on Mother's Day in May of 1993.
That's too close for comfort there, Richard.
The photographer was able to videotape the tornado from the time the funnel first began to drop from the clouds.
It's coming on down.
We then see it take shape and finally touch down as a dangerous and destructive twister.
There it is. Man, that is a hell of a tornado. I just hope it don't come this way.
One person was killed. 60 were injured. Damage was estimated to be in the millions. Many homes and businesses were hit, including this mobile home park.
Well, when I was standing there watching out the window, watching the trees lay straight over. We just got on top of the children and got in the hallway, and we were just on top of them. It was already gone by us by that time.
Do you know which one's your home and which one?
Well, my mama's. It was that, and it's now here, and up there, and all around. Those are the flowers I gave my mama for Mother's Day, and they survived in the vase. Had to be a sign from God.
Because they are not anchored to the ground with a foundation, mobile homes can be picked up and tossed around by a tornado just as cars can. They can easily collapse, endangering the lives of anyone trapped or seeking shelter inside.
When we got to the house, there ain't nothing left of it.
I pulled two of them out of there got records over there, man. We pulled that one boy out. He was covered in stuff.
We got it. Ham's porch over at the house. Bubba's room was gone. It's gone, period.
Some didn't vary so good, some of us did.
Yeah.
That's awful. We were lucky. They just took a little bit off our roof and broke one window. Everything else is still intact.
The one fatality from the Wiley tornado was a man who was killed when the mobile home he was in was lifted up and thrown onto the trailer next door.
He died! He died!
The storm picked it up and trapped the man in the home. His wife and daughters were out doing some Mother's Day activities. Friends had thought they had secured everybody in the area, but later found out they hadn't, so he was trapped in the house.
Normally when a tornado comes through, you hear like trains or something like that. We didn't hear nothing. All of a sudden, the house started to rock a little bit. I started to scream and was looking for my 3-month-old grandbaby. And I grabbed her, and we just went in. We were going to get in the tub, and we didn't get there, thank God, because that trailer's sitting in my tub right now. It just happened. I mean, just wham, there it was. And then I came outside, and that house was sitting on top, and that guy died in there. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
As you can tell by that footage, a mobile home is no safer than an automobile. If you live in a mobile home and a tornado hits, please get out and seek shelter at the first sign of the tornado. Don't wait. Time is not on your side. Is a solid house or an office building any safer than a mobile home or an automobile? We'll talk about that when we return and head to Purdue University to see what scientific advancements are being made to predict and understand tornadoes.
You can see it's coming over the lake now.
Bob Goodby was outside his lake house in Minnesota when he spotted a tornado forming.
Oh, look at the trees by the highway.
All right, look at there.
Look at the highway trees.
Oh, power line just went out. Power line just went out. Look at them. Power lines. I'm getting every power line out.
This is cool.
Oh, your
Okay.
boats.
It's very rough. Look at it. Here it goes. Here it comes. Here it comes. It's right out here.
I think you can come right here.
You saw all the power lines going out. Here it is.
Okay. Watch out.
Here it is. It's going right out across. You can see the stuff flying.
Right across.
You can see the stuff flying.
What bay is it?
Look at this. Look at it.
Yeah!
You can see it.
You can see it for yourself.
You can see it. It is totally incredible.
This is so sweet.
See if I get a little more. It's coming up behind.
Get a little wet.
Time to go inside now, guys.
We'll film from the inside. We're filming. We're filming.
Get right there. Don't stand by the windows.
His home video highlights the danger a tornado can pose, even when the person takes shelter inside a house.
Oh, there goes Bob's boat.
Well, I hope not.
Whoa!
Get away from the windows. Get away from the windows. Tree just blew over.
Bob, look at that tree over there. Look at that.
Get away from the windows. Get away. Get away. Get away.
Get away.
Get away. Where's everybody? Where's everybody?
One of the greatest dangers from a tornado comes from flying glass and other debris. Even the outside walls of a sturdy house may not be protection enough from the powerful winds of a tornado.
I just don't like to be on.
To see how powerful the tornado can be, we visited a lab at Texas Tech University. Engineers load a 2x4 into an air gun. They fire it at 115 miles per hour at a wall to see what happens. It doesn't matter whether it's wood, brick, or cinder block, it goes right through.
Yeah, there you are. It's like your living room or den. Huh? Mm-hmm. It's typical wall ventilation.
At Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana, scientists are taking a different approach to learning about the power of tornadoes.
You go ahead and get things fired up.
Dr. John Snow is in charge of the project.
Okay.
It's called the Purdue University Vortex Chamber.
What we're trying to do
is to simulate tornadoes. And we mean the word simulate in a very strict sense. We've got everything arranged so that really what we're doing is modeling part of the thunderstorm updraft so that the tornadoes that form are really scale models in all senses of the word of the real-world event you see in nature. The tornado is really the sideshow to the thunderstorm. Now, it's a very important sideshow because it's down here among us folks, but the real key to producing a tornado, either in nature or in the laboratory, is to put together the right amount of through flow, where the air is coming in, and the right amount of spin, which is present in the air, and then concentrate it. Nature does that relatively easily, so that all thunderstorms rotate a little bit. But every once in a while, it concentrates it a lot, produces a tornado. Here in the lab, we have a bit more control of things, and we can do that over and over again by using a series of vanes and a big fan to draw air through, and we can produce small model tornadoes in a controllable manner.
The object is to learn just how fast winds in a tornado are. Dr. Snow, who designed the system, has placed measuring devices underneath the chamber to look up into the tornado. One of the devices shoots a laser beam into the vortex of the miniature tornado. It bounces off dust particles and droplets of water and tells the computer wind speeds inside.
We think, because no one has actually measured it yet in the real tornado, that the maximum possible wind speed in a tornado is a little over 300 miles per hour. Luckily, that speed probably only happens a few times a year, 10 or 20 times a year out of the 1,000 or so tornadoes that occur in the U.S. Most tornadoes have wind speeds much less than that, probably in the neighborhood 150 miles an hour.
As these people discovered, winds generated by a tornado can easily topple trees and shatter windows, and should be taken seriously.
Where's everybody?
With more research and scientific testing, we can learn more about the tornado and ways to predict its path. But even if we know where, we also need to know what to do to stay safe. A solid home is safer than a mobile home or an automobile, but there are certain spots in the house you need to go to. Head to the center of the house, a stairwell or a bathroom. When we come back, we'll travel with some people who chase after tornadoes, intentionally putting themselves at great risk in order to learn more about this fascinating and dangerous phenomenon of nature.